Hi guys, I'm in the greenhouse. I just finished emptying all the plants out for our monthly winter examination. So let's go and have a look at the progress. Another beautiful day here at Fruitopia. Magnificent weather. 18 Celsius. Can't complain about that in late winter. It's the second day of August and we only have 4 weeks left for spring. And I'm super excited to get over and done with winter. Can't really complain, guys. 18 Celsius is pretty darn good for a winter temperature. Remember, over half the world, over half, maybe 3/4, in winter usually experience temperatures under 10. So below 10 Celsius would be a normal winter kind of range. So when we get 15, 16, 18, we're super excited here in our temperate climate. Alright then, these are all the young guys that I just pulled out for you. August update. So let's start with, well, from this side here. Again, like last month's update, the good, the bad, and the ugly. This one here is the Poshti, which is a custard apple variety, and it's dropping leaves like many of them have, right, all on its own. I haven't touched any of the leaves, they're just falling on their own, right? So let's see, we've got a lot of dryness going on, even though the pots are moist, right? Let's have a look at the moisture, see if it's dry or in fact moist. Looks pretty moist to me. It's not waterlogged, but it is wet, right? There you go, wet or moist. So I've tried very carefully not to overwater these. It's a fine balance in winter because they don't like water. They don't like to sit in water in winter. In summer they don't mind, right? But this is not summer, this is winter. So that's the first plant, the Poshti. I reckon from a scale of 1 to 10 it's probably sitting at around a 7. It's dropped most of its leaves, but holding on to enough to carry it through till spring when the new growth appears. And then we have this guy here, which is the pretty hardy Pitomba, right? And by the way, guys, if you don't know what these plants are, please Google, because I don't have enough time to explain each one in a 20-minute video. This video is going to run around 20 minutes. Maybe I'll have to do a part 2. So that one's 10 out of 10. Hasn't lost one leaf. So I don't think this is truly tropical. This is more like subtropical, even warm temperate. Very, very great, like a guava. Maybe even hardier than a guava. This one's a different story. The Sapodilla, right? Chico Sapodi. And this one here is just giving me terrible results for the last 8 years. Not this plant, but this variety. I can't get these guys to work. I can't get them to work. And I hate sitting in wet dirt like that. I hate that, oh boy. So just like the wax jambu, very sensitive to wet feet. Not my best friend. Next is another Sapodilla. This one I got from Dailies, right back in summer. This one's faring a lot better. A lot better. Well, it's younger, or I've had it for a less time than that one. I've had that one for over a year. Hasn't done anything. And this one I've had for about 6 months. Looking pretty good. So this one would be 8 out of 10. And that one, I'm not going to even rate that. How do you rate that? So they're the two Sapodillas. I have another one in the ground, but we're only looking at pots today. Over here is the yellow Jaboticaba, and this is about, let's have a look, I would say this is a 10 as well. I can see new growth, which is outstanding. Outstanding. Look at that. Who would have thought? New growth in winter. Remember, these have all been in the greenhouse. Unheated greenhouse, not heated. Okay, it's got a bit of a yellow tinge, which is normal for winter. So 10 out of 10 for the yellow Jaboticaba. Then we have this one in front of it, the sexy plant. I call this the sexy plant because it's got really sexy long green leaves. This is the yellow Mangosteen. Okay, and these have multiple names. If you don't know this name, go to Wikipedia and you'll find the alternative name. 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10. I was expecting this one to give me problems. Look at it. Look at that. Wow. Amazing. Beautiful. So very hardy, extremely hardy, like the Pitomba. Next, this is one of two jackfruits called the crisp Seedling, and this one is done well. It's even got new growth coming, it seems, right there. And where are we? Oops. Oh, how am I going to see? Hang on. The sun is behind me and I'm blocking the light. Right there. Wow. New growth in winter. I don't know how long that's been there. I'm guessing it's from winter, not from last autumn. So, the jackfruit here, the crisp Seedling, 10 out of 10. No discolorization of the leaves either. Next to it is its big brother, the Kyogle Gold. This is grafted. Also 10 out of 10. I have to stand up for this one. It's actually over a meter tall. Yep. Look at that. So this is a good reference for you guys, what you should be looking for and avoiding next summer when you do your new purchases. New growth on this one too. Up at the top here. Right, hang on. Right there. New growth seems to be coming also here behind. That it's hard to do this unless I twist the pots around, but you get the idea, right? 100% marching ahead. Both jackfruits, grafted and seedling. Next, this guy here that I had to scrub down back in early July. Remember him? With all that nasty stuff. Well, they never came back. but the leaves sort of didn't restore themselves. They just stayed the same. But that's alright. It's better than the way it was. This one is called the Madrono, also known as lemon drop mangosteen. It's also got a lot of names. So this one I would give a 9. I'd like to give it a 10. It would have been a 10 if it wasn't for this problem that I had back in June. Right? Look at that. It was, I used a sort of abrasive approach. I could have been a little bit more gentle, but you learn, right? So I've learned to use a more gentle approach to brushing whatever was there off the leaves. But overall, I'm pretty content, very happy with the lemon drop mangosteen. Next, we've got some wind today again. This one is the Rolinia, Brazilian custard apple. It's got many names also. Okay, this one I would give it a 7.5, maybe an 8, 7 to 8. Why? Well, it's dropped a lot of leaves. This one got a lot of slug damage. Those little baby slugs you saw back in May and June. Look, that there is slug damage. Every day I come out and pick them off. Every day I pick the slugs off. It's a losing battle. But overall, guys, they went for this new leaf, tender. And sometimes they get the big old leaves too. Look, this is all snail damage. Every leaf, look at this one. Every leaf has got snail damage. Even I've been spraying chili pepper spray. Now that's the bad news. The good news is there's a lot of new growth coming for spring. Look, new growth. Every look, every tip, new growth, new growth, new growth. Usually at the top, not the bottom. And the same here. New growth, new growth, new growth. Right? New growth, new growth. On all 3 main branches. That's the good news. Very good news, excellent news. And what else did I see here? See, these are getting chewed up, unfortunately. A new leaf, look at that. Let me go back here. A new leaf. Oops, I just cut it off by mistake. I snapped it. The little one's left. Right? Very good news. Not only is it surviving, it's pushing out new growth. So, Rolinia, 8 out of 10. I'm going to give it an 8. Definitely 8. The next one is bad news. The beautiful golden leafed star apple, Kaimito, right? This was looking incredible only 2 weeks ago, and well, it decided to get funky on me. Very funky. All the leaves started drooping. Not all of them, but most of them, like 90% of them. So this is usually either from cold or from too much water. Let's have a look. Remember, I've been giving the same amount of water to each of these plants, and as you saw so far, it hasn't affected most. It's moist, but it's not sitting in water. But what I do feel is a lot of cold. This soil is really cold. It's like dipping your fingers on ice cubes in a freezer. Very cold soil, guys. Very cold soil. So that could be it. It's not the wetness, it's the coldness of the wetness. Yeah, but what can you do? If you don't water it at all, well, it's also going to suffer, right? So the solution in this scenario is to keep it indoors so the soil doesn't get cold, or heat the greenhouse, which I don't want to do. So the lesson learned here is star apple maybe should be taken indoors in the house. That's, you know, a heated house, not greenhouse, but the actual house in the house. This gets a 5 out of 10. I'm just hoping it survives now. This is one of my favorite fruits too. Let's have a look. Let's see if it's alive. Oh, thank God. It's alive. Green. Okay. So that's not good news at all on the star apple. Even worse than that is this one. The soursop. Seed grafted soursop, Kyogle variety from Dailies. This one just dropped all its remaining leaves. Oh, it's got one left as I was bringing it out of the greenhouse. So if I toggle with this, it'll come off also. Yep, stripped bare. The soursop, graviola. But it's alive, guys. It's alive. Soil, moisture. Again, cold soil, moist, not drenched, not sitting in water. Okay. Just moist. Let's have a look to see if there's any life on it. Actually, you know what? Looks like there's new growth coming, but it's so small. Oh yeah, there you go. I don't know if these are dried up, but they look like new. Looks like new growth. Maybe, not sure. And along this branch here too. See that? Is that new growth? Looks like it. It's red. Looks like it. Yeah, so this one gets a 4 or 5 out of 10 as well. Let's check if it's alive. Oh yeah, sure is. Hang on. Where did I just scratch it? Hang on. Scratched it right there. There you go. That looks green, I think. Hang on. Yeah. That's green. And a nice new shoot next to it. So that's the soursop. Next to it is the Longan Chompu variety. By the way, there's 4 trees I left out for the last 3 weeks. Well, since the last update back in early July. This one, the Longan, I left him out here on the steps of the bungalow door, and I left out the 3 mangoes too. Those 3 mangoes, they've had full sun every time that we've had sunshine up against this this door. So those 3 have been out, and so is the longan. And you might say, wow, shouldn't do that. Well, I want to show you guys. Look at this. Look at that. New growth. New growth coming on the Quan variety. Okay guys, looks like we're gonna do a part 2. It cut out at 20 minutes like it always does with 4K videos. So I wanted to show you the seedling getting new growth here. If we can focus. Nope, not gonna focus. There. See that? And also there. So the point is, mangoes can easily stay out in our climate during winter, as long as they get sun, like these guys are getting, and some kind of protection, like in this case the bungalow. Right? They're getting knocked around a little bit now because it's very windy, but usually it's not in this particular spot. And so far so good. They're shooting out new growth. Instead of going backwards, they're going forwards, being outdoors. Of course they would be doing better indoors, but I didn't have room in the greenhouse for all of them. It was too cramped. So that's these 4 guys. Next guys is the sugar apple seedling. The neighbor decided to start his generator on a Sunday, and this one here gets a low score as well. If you remember back in not only back in July, early July, but even back in early May, I found one of the little slugs. Look at him. See this guy here? He's the one that's been eating all the leaves. Oh, there's his mate. There's 2. 1, 2. See them? And I bet you there's a lot more. So this one, it's holding on, but not proud of its progress. This is going to give me problems, this one, in the winters to come. I don't know if I can recommend sugar apples for Melbourne, but this is an experiment, remember that. This is an experiment combined with many other purposes. Alright, let's get moving before we run out of file size again. This one gets probably a 6 out of 10. The next one doesn't look very good either. This happened in the last 2 weeks, since mid-July. All these leaves just went from looking like that. That's how they were 2 weeks ago. They were like that. And now they're like this. Look at the difference. So which plants are these? These are Canistel, egg fruit. This one here happens to be the Sapodilla, the seedling. And this one is the regular Canistel seedling. And this one gets a 10 out of 10. Wow. It gets a big wow as well. And they were seeded together beside each other in the greenhouse. Right? So what an interesting experiment result. And well, let's see if it's still alive. Yep, it's green. I'll scratch it anyway. Oh yeah. Mighty fine, mighty fine. Mighty fine. Yeah, it's alive. So I'm hoping that new growth comes in spring for this. This guy's doing just fine. Doesn't need anything from me. Same amount of soil moisture. Let's see. Yep, just like all the other trees I showed. Let's have a look here too. Yep, exactly the same moisture. Both of them. Same temperature, same amount of sunlight, same amount of warmth. You guys figure this out for me. You figure it out. And then guys, next is the two abuse. This one is doing great. They're both identical, same varieties, right? And I would rate this one probably 9 or 8.5, 8 to 9 out of 10. This one. And that one there, is starting to do what the Sapodilla did. I would rate that, oh man, probably 5 or 6. Yeah. So again, same tree, side by side, or same trees. Interesting, huh? And from the other side, Abiu. And if you don't know how that's spelt, remember guys, everyone is at a different place, different level. Abiu is spelt like that. Okay. Another one of my favorites. This in Star Apple. Abiu, Star Apple, Chico Sapodilla. Unreal. The three of them. I just love these sweet fruits. So let's see if you guys can help out with what's going on here. I bet you can't. I bet you can't. 2 Abius, yep, this one's an Abiu as well, just in case you think it's not. Abiu, right? And Abiu. Because I sure can't answer the question. If someone asked me, I have no idea. So, there it is guys. That's the update for August. Mid to late winter. At Fruitopia. I hope you enjoyed this review. Overall, if I was to give a 1 to 10 for an overall score, I would say the score would be around an 8. What do you guys reckon? Okay guys, please put a like if you enjoyed this video, and share it as well so others can reap from the information. This is very important and very vital for anyone in a temperate climate wishing to go outside of the zone in growing these true tropicals. Well, most of them are true tropicals, some of them aren't. And remember to subscribe if you haven't, and also check back in about a month, the beginning of spring, when I'm gonna do the next update. And hopefully I'll be able to get these guys out of here, out of the greenhouse, at the end of September. So I'm looking at a 1st of October date, the first week of October, to free them from the greenhouse around the time that the daylight saving kicks in Australia. Okay guys, see you from the next video.